Today we will solve this problem from HackTheBox. It's called render quest and it's a web category problem. I have already started the instance. I got the IP address. IP address and the port number is given to us, and now I will check if I can access it with my browser. This is the website that is running. Here you can see it says enter the link to your template. So I'll just enter my name here and press render now. It's giving response internal server error. Now I will capture this request in my pub suite. This input box only takes URL inputs, so anything which is not an URL will result in internal server error response. I entered google.com and you can see google.com is rendering there. Now it's time for source code analysis. I will download it. After going through the source code, I got to know that this server is built in Go programming language. Inside the main.go file, there is an interesting function called fetch server info, which has a command parameter which is string type and it's also returning a string. Inside the fetch server info function, we can see there are two variables which is being initialized with exact.command.output. Exact.command function is being called, and inside that exact.command function, you can see there are two strings sh and -c. And in Unix like operating systems, this is basically used to execute shell commands. So whatever string command we are giving to this fetch server info, it's taking that command as an argument and it's trying to execute it as a shell command. And if the exact.command.output function returns an error, it will return an empty string. And if everything goes well, the function will return the output, which is a string type. We have another file called index.tpl, which is actually a template file, and it's mostly used to dynamically show data in the website. After going through some documentations for a while and a little bit of help from ChatGPT, I came to know that we can directly call the server functions inside the template file. Here I have created a file called cmd, and inside that file there is a simple Linux command lsla. Now I will start my Python server, which will run on localhost port 8888. I will also start my ngrok server, which will redirect all the requests made to this ngrok server to my localhost. I will paste my ngrok server's link in my Bub Suite repeater and check if it renders the cmd file. As you can see, it's rendering our cmd file. Now I'll make some changes in the cmd file and try to call the fetch server info function inside this template. In the fetch server info function, you can see there is a command parameter which is a string type, and in this template as well, we are providing a command called lsla, which is a string type. After making the changes, I will send the request again from the Bub Suite repeater, and here you can see it's rendering all the contents from the current directory of the vulnerable server. Let me give you a brief overview what is actually happening in the background. This is our vulnerable web server which is rendering any website link given to it, and this is our ngrok server which has this cmd file, and inside this cmd file we have this template, and in this template we are calling the fetch server info function with the argument lsla. So when this vulnerable server requests this malicious ngrok server, our malicious server send the contents of the cmd file to this vulnerable server, and this vulnerable server is rendering this function fetch server info with the argument lsla in the web page. So that's what exactly happened here. Now it's time to find the flag. Inside the Docker file, we can see the flag is being copied from the current directory to the root directory. The entry point.sh file is being used to rename the flag. So the flag prefix would be flag and suffix would be some alphanumeric characters. I will again make some changes in the cmd file, and I will list the files and folders from the root directory of the vulnerable web server. I will send the request again. Here you can see our flag. Now I will try to read the contents of that flag. I will again make some changes. I will use cat command to read the contents of the send the request again. And here you can see Inside that flag file, we have got our actual flag, and we have successfully solved the problem.